I'm about to share with you guys 5 tips, tricks, secrets, hacks, whatever you want to call them for Adobe Lightroom. These are super valuable. They're going to make you a better editor, a faster editor in Adobe Lightroom. So let's jump in. Okay, so the first little secret is that you can actually invert the subject mask in the new version of Lightroom. And what that enables you to do is actually edit the background independent of the subject. So how we actually do that, you come over to the masking tool here, click on it, and then press select subject. Now, personally, I don't like this little box being here because sometimes if you've got a landscape image, this can kind of overlap and obscure your view. So what I do is I actually grab this and I just drag it into the side pane like that. Not a lot of people know that you can actually do that, but for me, it just makes it a lot cleaner. So that's a little bonus tip for you. Okay, so now our subject has been automatically selected. So we come down here to subject 1, right click on this and then press invert. And then we get an inverted selection. So it's going to select everything except for our subject. And then we can darken the background, brighten the background. We can change the temperature, as you can see. And I really love playing around with this to really create more of a separation between the subject and the background. It works really, really great. Okay, so next up is the ability to hold the Alt key or the Option key if you're on Mac to reset an entire section of settings. So for example, here we've got the tone settings. So let's make some adjustments to our exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, etc. And let's say, for example, we just want to reset it, but we don't want this reset to affect any of our other settings. Simply hold that Alt or Option key, and then it'll say reset tone here where it used to just say tone. Click on that and it will reset all those settings for you. You don't have to go through and reset every single slider, and this works throughout the develop panel, so you can scroll all the way through. As long as you're holding the Alt or Option key, you can reset any of these sections. Number 3 is changing the opacity of adjustment layers. So to give you an example, let's go in here and create a linear gradient. And let's just pull this over the image here. Now I'm going to go through and change a bunch of settings. I'm going to mess with the warmth, the exposure, contrast, just like a bunch of random things here. Let's say, for example, that I continue editing this photo and I actually like the adjustments that I made, but I just want to bring the effect down overall just a little bit. Now I could come back into this mask that I've just created and just pull all the sliders back towards 0 individually. But if you just want to lessen the effect overall, what you can do is you can actually select the mask and then collapse this little menu here. And then you get an amount slider here, which enables you to increase or decrease the effect of that adjustment layer. So essentially all those changes that you've made, it's just going to increase or decrease the opacity. And trust me, when you have a lot of masks, that is a big time saver. Number 4 is fine control for the curves tool. I'm somebody who uses the RGB curves quite a lot, and it's a very, very nice tool to use. However, I found in the past that it can be a little bit touchy moving these control points around. If you actually hold the Alt or Option key, it allows you to have a lot more fine adjustment over these values. And so you move the mouse quite a lot, but it only moves the curve just a tiny, tiny little bit. So this helps you to have a little bit more of a fine adjustment. You can really watch what the effect is doing to your image without that control point sort of bouncing all over the place. Super helpful for fine adjustments. For the last tip, I've actually finished editing my photo here and I'm really happy with it. I used a preset called the OG from my preset pack. If you're interested, it's linked down in the description below. But now that I've finished editing this photo, I really want to sit back, take a good look at it and make sure that I've done a good job. And I love using the lights out mode for this. Not many people know about this, but if you hit the L key, it's going to dim the rest of the screen so you can see your image nice and clearly. If you press L again on your keyboard, it's going to completely black out the screen. And I really like this because it just takes away all those distractions of the UI of Lightroom, and I can actually look at my photo as a whole. Just looking in this view, I notice things that I didn't notice before. So I really like lights out mode and I recommend that you try it out. That's it for this one, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you got some value out of it, make sure you leave a like down below. It helps me out a lot. Remember to make a story worth telling, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. These are super valuable. They're going to make you a better